You ever notice how sometimes the less attention you give to someone, the more they seem to crave it? It's weird, right? Counterintuitive. We grow up thinking that the best way to get someone's attention, especially a woman's, is by showing up, being present, complimenting her, doing things for her. That if you're always available, always agreeable, always saying the right things, then somehow she'll see your value. But what if I told you that real power, not just attraction power, but inner power, comes from doing the opposite? What if ignoring a woman isn't about playing games or being cruel, but about revealing your true strength? What if this one act, staying grounded, not reacting, not chasing, was the key to unlocking real Stoic power? Let's talk about it. Now, before we go deep, I need to say something up front. This isn't about manipulation. We're not here to play with people's emotions. That's not Stoicism. That's immaturity. What we're talking about is something different, something deeper. It's about reclaiming your emotional control, your dignity, and your focus by choosing not to give away your energy so easily. Let me ask you something. How many times have you found yourself overly invested in someone who wasn't giving you the same energy back? Maybe you were texting her every day, waiting for replies that took hours or never came. Maybe you bent your own values just to stay in her orbit, saying yes when you wanted to say no, keeping your mouth shut just to keep the peace. You gave more than you got, and yet somehow she seemed less interested. And in that imbalance, you lost something. Maybe your peace, maybe your pride, maybe your sense of control. That feeling, that's what Stoicism seeks to avoid. Stoicism isn't about becoming cold, it's about becoming calm. It's not about shutting down emotionally. It's about not letting your emotions run the show. And ignoring a woman, or more accurately, not chasing her, is one of the first real-world tests of Stoic power. Let's rewind a bit. Picture a Roman philosopher, maybe Marcus Aurelius, sitting, alone, reflecting. The empire is in chaos, people are lying to him, flattering him, betraying him. But his core belief remains: you can't control others, only your own response. Now take that same principle and apply it to modern relationships. When you stop chasing a woman, especially one who's unsure about you, you're not punishing her. You're protecting yourself. You're saying, I value myself too much to keep pouring into someone who isn't pouring back. And that's where the shift happens, because something powerful occurs when you pull back, not in a cold, reactive way, but in a centered, calm way. You stop giving her your attention like it's cheap. You stop giving her free access to your energy. And whether she realizes it or not, she feels that shift. She notices that you're no longer orbiting her. You're not texting just to get a response. You're not liking every photo. You're not hanging around in her DMs like a shadow hoping for light. You've returned to your center, that Stoic power. Now you might be wondering, why does this work? Why does ignoring her, or pulling back, make such a difference? Here's the thing. We're wired to value what we can't easily get. When you're always available, always around, always saying yes, you become part of the background, predictable, safe, easy to ignore. But when you pull back, suddenly, there's space. She starts to feel your absence, and here's where the irony kicks in. Most guys think chasing makes a woman feel wanted, but often, it makes her feel pressured. It gives off a kind of anxiety, like you need her to complete you, and no one wants to feel like someone's emotional oxygen tank. By contrast, when you stand still, emotionally, mentally, and just let her be, it sends a different message. It says, I'm whole without you. I'd like you in my life, but I don't need you to feel complete. That message? That's magnetic. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Nate. Nate was a people pleaser, always trying to be the nice guy. He'd bend over backwards for women who showed the bare minimum of interest. He'd drop plans with friends. He'd cancel his workouts. He once drove 2 hours to bring a girl her favorite drink because she had a rough day. He thought he was being thoughtful. And sure, in small doses, that's great. But over time, it wasn't attractive. It was exhausting. You know why? Because he wasn't offering her love. He was offering her himself as a tool for validation. And when she inevitably lost interest, he spiraled. Then, something changed. He started studying Stoic philosophy, started sitting with his discomfort instead of reacting to it, started holding back, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. He stopped chasing. And suddenly, the same women who used to ghost him were texting him again. Why? Because his energy had changed. He wasn't reacting. He was responding, or choosing not to respond. That quiet strength, that's what Stoicism teaches us. Now, I'm not telling you to be a robot. You can still feel. You can still care. You can still love deeply. But the question is, do you love yourself enough to walk away when your value isn't being met? Do you love yourself enough to be still? Because sometimes, the most powerful move isn't what you do. It's what you don't do. You don't argue. You don't chase. You don't beg. You simply withdraw your energy and focus it inward. Start a business, hit the gym, read, build something, meditate, travel. In that silence, you become powerful. Not because she's watching, but because you're finally watching yourself. And that's what makes her notice. So, let me leave you with this. Ignoring a woman isn't about being cruel. It's about choosing yourself when she won't. It's about recognizing that attention is a currency, and you're done handing it out for free. It's about stepping into your own emotional independence. Because when you stop chasing, when you stop over-explaining, over-apologizing, over-giving, something amazing happens. You create space. And in that space, you discover something the world's been trying to distract you from. Your power, your peace, your purpose. That's what Stoicism is really about. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable. So the next time you're tempted to text, to chase, to fix, pause, breathe, return to your center, and remember, the most attractive man in the room is always the one who doesn't need to be noticed. He just is. That's true Stoic power.